Welcome to this episode of MindBody TV. In this episode, I'm going to share how changing your brain changes your entire life experience. And we're going to start with your physiology and the study of psychoneuroimmunology, which was really the early foundations of mind-body medicine. Way back, decades ago, scientists began to see that the mind affects the body, that our cells are listening, and that there are major significant cellular changes that happen not because of what's already in your DNA, not because of just what you eat or how much exercise you get, but in fact, the primary determinant is because of the way you think. The fluid bathing the cells would literally be what would activate those cells to exhibit health or exhibit disease. And it was more about the neurotransmitters, the hormones, all of the intracellular signaling from your brain that would set the stage for everything. How you metabolize food, how well you detoxify, how long you live, whether the genes for disease get turned on or turned off. So this is a really important episode to understand the cellular foundation of everything I'm sharing in mind body medicine and how you can make major changes by subtle changes in the way you think. So we're going to activate neuroplasticity, the ability to change your brain, change your nervous system wiring, messaging with really, really easy tools. So if you're new, welcome. Please share where you're tuning in from in the world. Leave a comment. I am Kim Duramo. I'm a physician who's been teaching mind-body medicine for many, many years because I have found it to be the most powerful leverage point to really make a significant effect on health. So no matter what may be going on for you, today we're going to talk about lack, illness, overwhelm. Kind of universal, but you will have your own specific things coming up. Maybe you do have a diagnosis, or maybe you're just having symptoms that no one's been able to actually diagnose and put it in a bin that they can name. It's okay because the wisdom in your body already knows exactly what's really needed for you to truly heal. So welcome. All right. So I'm going to talk about changing your brain and why that's so important. So it used to be thought that the cell nucleus held the major determining factors of what the cell does. It's a program. That cell's either going to be healthy or unhealthy. It's going to die at a certain time. Or if there are genes for diseases like cancer, the cell will develop cancer, or diabetes, the cell will develop diabetes. So that was the original thought, was it's the nucleus. That's the determining factor, right? Inside the cell, you have this nucleus with information in it, and that was the whole thing. You either have good genes, you don't have good genes. It was kind of a matter of luck. Later, science began to show it was not actually the nucleus, it was the membrane. The membrane had these receptors that would determine, let's say you got these little neurotransmitters that then come in and match up to that receptor. It would activate that receptor to maybe open or close. So it would open the cell membrane, stuff would go in, and it would change what happens in the cell. And so if those substances were present, certain channels would open, stuff would go in, something would happen. So we began to see, it's really not about the nucleus. It's about the cell membrane. And so here's where the magic happens. But the next level beyond this was we began to see the real change determining health or lack of health happened in the environment, the cell environment. Okay, so you got the cellular environment with hormones, neurotransmitters, all kinds of other little enzymes, substrates, cofactors, stuff floating around that would then determine the effect at the membrane. Okay, so now it's the environment, the cell environment. And then that would determine what happens inside that cell. And now we know it's really about what happens inside the cell that globally affects our overall health. Each little tiny cell, and there's trillions of cells in our body, and that's what really determines the health of the overall body. Great. So how do we affect the cell environment? Yes, nutrition is important. Yes, exercise and like helping move the body greatly enhances detoxification. This is so important. But the number one most essential determining factor is, in fact, your brain. Your brain and nervous system are sending all of your hormones, neurotransmitters, signaling to every cell in the body and has the greatest influence of what's happening in your body. And so the way you think, your emotions, what you believe, the words you speak are the most essential thing setting the stage for your cellular environment. And you can change that. And so this is what this topic is really about with changing your brain. It's not just about, let me just think positive, because the more we try to think positive, the more we just suppress all the negative thinking. So it's not going to work. It's really about harmony, entering a greater state of well-being. And that's really where all of my mind-body tools come in that I wrote about in the MindBody Toolkit book. If you haven't picked up your copy, you're definitely going to want that. The Be Your Own Healer book, we go even deeper. And I do have an upcoming workshop we're doing next week for free that you're invited to do, where we will do these practices together and you'll be able to ask questions and we'll really look at applying this specifically to you. So if your brain is constantly sending neural signaling that affect your immune system, your endocrine system, your digestive system, every part of your body in the most important ways, how do we change what's happening in the brain? Okay, so this is where we're gonna go. Please type in the comments here what you've been experiencing yourself. When I say lack, it's like not enough time, not enough energy, not enough like solutions for what my problem is. Like you go doctor to doctor to doctor, no one can help me. Where is the lack? You just have to focus there first. Illness, there's symptoms, the body's breaking down, there's fatigue, there's pain, maybe anxiety or depression or other weird, obscure symptoms. You're like not even sure what they are. What have you been experiencing? Type it in the comments. Overwhelm. If you find yourself saying, like when people ask you how you are, oh, I'm so busy, you are living in overwhelm. And this is really the fight or flight stage. You do not need to spend your life in the flight or flight stage, right? Like your body's geared up with all of the hormones that are like the overwhelm and fight, and your adrenals are kicking in to gear you up. That's great for the short term. It is not how you're meant to live for the long term. And so you'll kind of just keep pushing through, another day, pushing through. You're not actually creating prosperity on any level. And until you begin to shift out of fight or flight, overwhelm, you will not actually create prosperity in your life. It might seem like you're getting ahead, but if you really look at the overall quality of your life, year to year, decade to decade, it will not actually be moving in the right direction, despite lots and lots of work on your part. There's a better way. Okay, so if your brain is sending signals, here's your brain, and here's your nervous system going down through your spinal cord out to your entire body, right? Every part of your body is involved in that. So your immune system, your endocrine system, your GI system, gastrointestinal, your heart, your cardiac system, like every major part of your body is listening. How do we ignite change? I'm going to give you the simplest way that's so easy, you may just like kind of skip over it. Nothing changes until you become more present. Yep, that's right. The healing power to shift everything that is continuing to create problems, illness, lack, and overwhelm has to do with who you are being. And until you turn off, go within, get more present, you'll keep spinning the same physiology that's spinning the same results of illness or overwhelm and stress, or just I'm never have enough. You cannot receive more until you get more present. So what does that mean? Take a deep breath, lift your shoulders up, scrunch your face, make this with your hands, and then exhale. Soften everything. Relax your shoulders. Then I want you to put your hands on your heart and just begin to breathe. Super, super simple. Let the belly expand out as you inhale. Let the belly sink in as you exhale. You're going to do 5 breaths like this. And all you're going to do, no matter what the problem is, you're going to pause for 3 to 5 breaths throughout the rest of the day today. That's all you're going to do. You notice and you pause. Okay, soften your shoulders. If your life is reflecting your inner state, if your physiology is reflecting your inner state, and all you do is pause to notice your inner state, just the awareness heals. So just 3 to 5 breaths. Feel what you feel. Sometimes you may begin to feel that stress catch up with you because you're not outrunning it anymore. It's okay. You got to feel it to heal it. Be willing to feel what you feel. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay. All you're going to do now is type in the comments how you're feeling after that exercise. Did you notice your breath is tight? Maybe your breath even shifted a little to slow down. That's awesome. And my ABC tool, which is kind of what we're going to use here, ABC, awareness, breathing, conscious choice. When we shift our breathing, we shift our physiology. But it has to start with awareness. You've got to first get present. When you begin to notice what is here now, you begin to shift it. You impact what you observe. So observe that state of stress. Better out than in. As soon as you notice it, it's no longer suppressed. It's no longer running at the same intensity. This is what begins to shift your brain state and your neural networks. So all you're going to do when you notice stress, when you notice the unwanted, when someone asks you how you're doing and you're about to say, I'm so busy, you pause. You feel what you feel in your body. You take even just one full, slow belly breath, right? And you just notice, right? And instead of going into the story, maybe you just share a sensation. I have felt really overwhelmed. Wow, life has been really intense. Or even better, I wonder what else is possible. Because what you observe, you affect. So you have to bring your awareness to the body. The show on the background records of overwhelm, keeping the stress signal going, keeping you overwhelmed, doing the same thing over and over, and keeping the symptoms going cannot last when you bring your awareness to it. And so awareness heals. That is it. That is the first step in the ABC. This is the most essential part. Got to first get aware. Now, most people, maybe they'll do breath work. Maybe they'll do like consciousness work. I choose to be wealthy. My health is robust, right? Affirmations. It won't matter because the most important part is getting your power back. Awareness in the body. That's what changes your brain. That's what brings the brain from the beta brainwave state, which is running the programming. I can't slow down. I'm late. I gotta go. I'm so busy. Oh my God, there's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough energy. And so we act accordingly, just living out the program. As soon as you go to awareness, you shut down the program. Your brain goes from operating in high beta brainwave frequency, faster high beta brainwave frequency, to a slower, it's like a lower beta brainwave. So maybe it's a little more like, a little smoother. And even with practice, alpha brainwaves, right? So you're like, whew, that's the relaxation, meditative state. This is an enhanced level of perception. And when you're in these slower, lower brainwave patterns, you have more insight. You have more clarity. You have more pure awareness, which in and of itself is healing, that allows you to think beyond the ordinary mind. And this is why, like, epiphanies and ahas and, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that, happen when you're in the shower, or as you're waking up or going down to sleep, or when you're out for maybe a nice like run or a hike in the woods or walk in nature. All of a sudden, if you make space for this, you'll have a new way of thinking that didn't occur to you when you were in your ordinary brainwave state. And so, yes, it is awesome to get out and hike in nature and to take a shower or a hot bath and like just be still. But what really matters is that you just get present, which is kind of the hardest thing to do because the mind's like, I gotta do something. So if you want to do something, do what I showed you. Tense your body, tense your face, tense your fist, bring your shoulders up, and then exhale, relax it, and shake it off. And take 5 slow, deep breaths all the way down to your belly. Because while you are doing this, focusing your attention within your body, your brain is no longer doing that, sending the signals that generate inflammation. It can't do both at the same time. And so just get practice, set your alarm 3 to 5 times a day, come to the workshop, and we're going to work on this together and do some really amazing tools. But develop this practice so you can begin to open those changes in your brain, in your consciousness and your awareness. You will begin to perceive things you never perceived before. So anytime you're in that cycle of like lack, overwhelm, symptoms, and then you're gonna like have the program response, you're gonna do the thing, or maybe you're just learning so many things, or you're trying really hard to do whatever to heal. But if you don't do this first, it can't have the effect to activate the real foundational changes in your brain, changes in your nervous system wiring, which then cause changes in your immune system, your endocrine system, your gastrointestinal, your gut, every part of your body. And we'll get into this in a future episode of MindBody TV, but how that changes the frequency of your biofield is extremely important. Because when you're in that programming, lack, overwhelm, more, let me just keep going, you're actually creating resistance to change. So you're trying really hard to make the change while just creating an equal amount of resistance to that change. Your body cannot get on a new frequency while you keep running the old program. So how does it feel when you just do this little mini presence exercise? Bring the attention into the body. When you shift your attention, it changes your energy. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And as soon as you bring your attention here now in the body can only live in the now. Your attention is no longer out there creating and running the program. It is that simple. And I want you to type in the comments here, like, what have you been dealing with that seems like, yeah, but I have blah, 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 right? Maybe it's a diagnosis. Maybe you have been told you require medications. Maybe it's, you don't understand my boss. I have to do da, 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 or I have no money and therefore, These are all the program's reasons why you can't allow this change. Yeah, maybe for someone else, but I, blah, 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 right? It's just a racket. And as soon as you begin to get curious to it, curiosity is a higher brainwave state, right? You got to be in that lower beta or alpha or even slower brain waves to be receptive to a new idea. So just ask, wait a minute, what if? What's actually true here? I was told this is the only way. I was told there's no other possibility for me. I was told I'll always be on medication. I was told there's no answer. Pause, connect where your attention goes, your energy flows. The body only lives in the now. Bring your attention here now. Feel your breath. Shift your breathing, right? That's the second step, awareness. Oh, yawning is a good sign, opening the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. And only then will you truly be making more conscious choices. So just begin to ask, what's actually true? Is this true? What's actually possible for me? You have to be receptive. So this is like the essential formula to activate neuroplasticity. So it's all well and good to like do your affirmations or even EFT, like I'm going to do this powerful mind body tools. Yes, but until you have become 2% more in that harmonic of ease, of abundance, of true wealth, and the vitality that you're seeking, it can't come in. So be that space by just opening up that little bit of receptivity. Use your breath, feel and presence the body. Let me know how you feel, how you do. The link for the live workshop, it's going to be free. It's next week on Tuesday, is in the description here, drkimd.com/workshop. And you're all invited. Invite everyone you love. We will do a lot of this and way more kind of understanding the biofield. Like you are pure energy. You can shift anything. And it starts with now. Tap on your heart. Take a breath. You just say, I love you. Give that to yourself. Your awareness affects what you observe affects. Your awareness has an impact. Soon as you learn this, you'll never be the same. I look forward to moving further along this track with you and seeing you live for the workshop that's taking place on Tuesday. Please let everyone you love know these are very, very powerful, life-changing experiences because you begin to open up to whole new ways of seeing things. I will be explaining the science behind this in a deeper way, and we will begin to do the tools to ignite this change in you. Your brain can change. It's neuroplastic. Let's ignite that neuroplasticity for major changes in whatever is arising for you. Lots of love. We'll be broadcasting another video live on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time from MindBody TV. So I look forward